Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and here's the tea. I've kind of been in a slump for the past week. It's not been a good time for my depression. And you know what cheers me up? Playing Spyro. And you know what really cheers me up? Knowing that we are over the worst of this game. Like, we have passed most of the bad stuff. So, let's check in with our friends from Evening Lake and prepare to fight the next boss.
I guess this hunk of junk is supposed to fly. Sure glad I ain't the one getting on.
The rocket's fueled up and ready to go, Spyro.
By the way, these guys do have a reaction for when you're flaming them, and you sort of can't see that in Frozen Altars because you have ice breath there, so this is the only time that you can actually flame one of these guys, who may be penguins or ducks, I can't tell. It's the only time you can actually see them do that animation. Anyway, moving on.
The rocket is ready for launch, Spyro! Hop aboard whenever you want!
Hop on, Spyro. Don't worry. Fairy engineering has never failed.
I was expecting a punchline and there wasn't one. Good for you. I don't want to flame you. You look too pretty and nice, and you're animating now, which is good. And Bentley, my dear. You don't react at all. I'd expect as much.
Hop aboard, Spyro, and boldly go where no dragon has gone before. Well, at least not in 1,000 years, at any rate.
So yes, we've passed the worst of this game's bullshit. There is still bullshit to come. But for now, let's head over to Midnight Mountain and clearly not fight another boss on the way there.
That's it! I've had enough! I'm going to create a monster to end all monsters! And I'm going to send it out to destroy all the dragons, even the little hatchlings! Yes, yes! It will smash them and crush them and grind them and tear them! Oh, yes! Smear them and smoosh them and crack them and crease them!
But, won't that kill them?
It doesn't matter, as long as I can still collect their wings!
What? All this time you've only wanted them for their wings?
Of course, you ignorant girl. I need them for a spell, so I can live forever!
Wait a second. A spell?
What did you think I was going to do with all those dragons? Open a zoo?
You said just keeping them in our world was enough. You never said you had to kill them.
I don't have to kill them. It just stops them from wriggling so much.
You're terrible. I can't believe I ever listened to you.
Stupid, insolent brat. I'll take care of her as soon as I finish off that dragon. Now, where was I? Ah, yes!
Did I mention that this game is a lot darker than I remember it being as a child? Because this game is pretty fucking dark. So, boss number 3. Weirdly sharing its name with a level from Spyro 2, Scorch. Inside a giant ribcage, because of course, this isn't actually that hard, thanks to Bentley.
This might be our last stand, Spyro. The sorceress plans to use this monster to destroy every iota of her opposition, beginning with the two of us. Alas, there is no time for ruminating. A battle awaits us. I will endeavour to assist you by means of a steady provision of combustible projectiles.
The thought occurs, Sheila, Sergeant Bird, where the fuck are you? Why are you leaving all of this to Bentley? But yeah, boss number 3, Scorch, surprisingly not that difficult. He sends out crabs, sometimes he sends out other things like, I guess they kind of look like sun seeds, but gone very wrong. That's how you damage him, you just... Oh, we have more crabs. Of course, with the crab enemies, you can just charge through them, everything's fine. He has that shield up when he's stationary, so you sort of need to time it well. Like, I found because I actually practiced this boss... Oh, that's another one of his attacks. They have little shockwaves as well, so watch out for those. I found the red projectile easier to damage with, but I got... Like, when I practiced this boss, because for once, I actually did a bit of a mini practice, I could not get a single hit in with the green projectiles. Whereas at the moment, I'm just missing so many flavors with the reds, but... The reds are easier to stack because you get 50 reds as opposed to just one green at a time, so it's... Like, honestly, as long as you get a couple of hits in, like, look at how easy of a time we're having. Like, I know I was talking before about how tough what's his name? Second boss, Spike, how difficult he is, and I stand by that. This boss was never difficult, and yeah, I appear to be having an easier time, well, easier time with Spike than I did with this, but that's just because this boss is more intense. And another enemy, it's Buzz. He just, sort of a way of telling you that, oh hey, this boss means business. He can summon the first boss. And you can use your ammunition to get rid of this as well, just because that's the only way to make the boss progress. So, there you go. Third boss, a monster to end all monsters. Absolute piece of piss. Like, that has never intimidated me. Buzz, easy. Scorch, easy. Powerful dragon baby. But Spike really lives up to his name, Spike in difficulty. Hurricane Katrina, more like Hurricane Tortilla, am I right? Anyway, let's move on to Hunter finally escaping. So, once you see this cutscene, you can now do all the Hunter missions that were locked to you before.
Hi, Bianca. Did you bring any more food? I'm starving.
There's no time for that, Hunter. We have to stop the sorceress. She's gonna kill all the dragon hatchlings.
Wait a minute. Why should I trust you? This could be another trap.
You're in a cage, you furry numbskull. How can I trap you by letting you out?
I don't know. You sorceress types can be sneaky.
I never thought we were gonna hurt the dragons. Come on, we don't have time for this.
It only just occurred to me in watching that cutscene that it's kind of awkward how Bianca has the full sorceress outfit and Hunter's just there, just naked, giving exactly no shits. I think they're probably going to address that in the Reignited trilogy. We'll see. Anyway, normally I would hide this and say like, oh no, we're going to come back here later. No, I want to do this now because I like Midnight Mountain. But first, we have an encounter with Rainbow Lady, and for the first time, she's actually on our side. Hello.
Spyro, I know you don't trust me, but I want to help you stop the sorceress. There's a way to open a hidden portal to her lair, but it'll take some very strong magic. If you can find more of the dragon eggs, I think my magic will be strong enough to open the portal. I'll come find you when you have enough eggs, okay?
So, we actually already have enough eggs to go and fight the final boss, because in Midnight Mountain, the portals are locked in increments of 10 eggs at a time. So there are 2 that are just open by default, and, I mean, we'll get to those when we get to those. There's an egg round here, by the way, just come and get it, because you can. Don't fall off, because you can die out here. Like, I sort of completely forgot that most of Midnight Mountain is a giant void when I made the Spyro Patreon video about, oh, hey, they decided that maybe it's a bad idea to let you die in the homeworlds. Yeah, well, if you fall into those pits, then you die. So, let's take a whirlwind tour of Midnight Mountain, shall we? First of all, first portal you come across this gorgeous thing here. Crystal Islands. I like that level. It's very curious. It'll be the first place we go when we start on the Midnight Mountain worlds in earnest. And that is open by default as soon as you get here. So don't need to worry about unlocking that. There's a Fifi Woo. And I specify Fifi Woo because I don't know if I've spoken about this already, but in Spyro 4, Enter the Dragonfly, which I have no intention of Let's Playing ever, there's a homeworld for the thieves, and 2 of them are called Fifi Woo and Fifi You, and that's just adorable. Anyway, there's another portal there, but one thing at a time. I'm trying to get this speed thief, for he thieves speedily. Good! Oh, it spawns us here because this is where I last collected an egg. I'm glad. There we go. Thing is, if you charge whilst flaming, then the momentum applied to your charge also affects your flame, but only for like half a frame. Like, well, not half a frame, but like the hitbox of your flame is launched forwards at the same rate as your charge. That's just a thing to be aware of. So it shouldn't work physics-wise, but it does. I like this portal, Desert Ruins. You can go past the letters and sort of just chill in this bit without actually touching the portal, because they have to have the text so far forward because of the awkward shape of the portal. Anyway, this is another one that's open by default. And I'm trying to do some mental maths, because as I said, all of the portals here open in increments of 10, and this is the first one you're supposed to open. I believe it's 70 eggs to open Haunted Tomb. Another one that I like simply because well, we'll discover in due course, but of all the levels to be affected by what I call the music glitch, some of it was, like, it's difficult to explain, but Midnight Mountain is hit far and away the hardest, anyway, in terms of levels playing songs that they're really not supposed to, and this is where the Sparx level is for here, but we still have the one in Evening Lake to tackle first. Over here we have, costing 80 eggs, I believe, Dino Mines. I don't like that level. It has good taste in music, but it's very, very, very hard in terms of it's full of enemies that are entirely too good at killing like, there are enemies with long-range weapons and very good aim. It's a cool idea, but one thing at a time. For now, let's bomp through here. And I do have a story to tell about Midnight Mountain, but I have notes about it because I want to get it exactly right, and I don't have those notes in front of me right now, so I'll come back to it later. Here's Buddy, and I feel like there should be a portal down here, and there just isn't. It's a nice little secret alcove, and there's just nothing down there apart from an egg. Oh well. Now, over here in the near distance, we have a giant-ass lighthouse. This belongs to Harbor Speedway, which costs 90 eggs to open, and that's the music that we've been hearing throughout. Like, all the speedways we've done so far have all had Harbor Speedway's theme instead of what they're supposed to have, and that's the only level where the music glitch is outbound rather than inbound, because most of the levels here don't have their own themes. Now, there's another portal around here as well, which, like, it's sort of giving nothing away. It's just sort of a weird tower with spikes, and have a guess. Like, we've seen portals that take 70, 80, and 90 eggs. How much do you think it takes to open this portal? Because you're probably wrong unless you've played this game before. It costs 149 eggs and 15,000 gems. We are nowhere near being able to open that portal just yet. Also, take note of that pillar over there in the distance. There is no way of getting up there, but if you do get up there somehow, there are 3 extra lives there. And the way of getting up there is actually in this room over here. There's, like, in the middle of the room, there's nothing of note. But if you look straight up... Oh, Bianca's here, by the way. If you look straight up, there's a hole in the ceiling. That's worth noting.
You did it, Spyro! You found enough of the dragon eggs for me to unlock the portal. Once I've opened it, you can confront the sorceress whenever you're ready. But be careful. She'll be expecting you.
So yeah, we could just go and fight the final boss right now. It takes 100 eggs exactly to open this door, and I don't remember how early the... Like, I could swear that the portal to the sorceress was just a challenge portal thing. Anyway, if you look straight up, there's a hole in the ceiling. It's because in the middle of this room, once you beat the sorceress, there was supposed to be this giant whirlwind that spawns, and the only reason why they didn't it is programmed into the game, they just didn't put the actor in place to make the whirlwind actually work. So it's in the game's code, it just isn't in the game proper. And that's because the guy who coded it went on holiday for like the last 2 weeks of the game's development or so, and no one programmed it in his absence, then they shipped the game, so it never got put in. So the extra lives are on that distant pedestal, but there's no way of getting to them, which is tragic. Well, not entirely true. You can glitch your way up there, I'm not entirely sure how. It would probably take a well-placed proxy jump, because you can't swim in the air here because there's no water to swim in. Anyway, elephant in the room, crack in the wall, burp it open, there's just an entire secret back here. And this is another area that's pertinent to the story I have about Midnight Mountain. It's to do with a dream that I had, but I want to have my notes in front of me when I tell you about it. So, time and a place. Billy. So, this place is home to Billy and Buddy. Now, note that we have 5 out of 5 eggs. I'm not saying that's problematic necessarily, but just keep that number in mind. But for now, we must go over here, collect the last of our little gemsies, and finally free our next animal buddy so that we can, do the fun part of Fireworks Factory. And I missed gems somewhere, but one thing at a time.
Well, well, Spyro, look what I have here. It's a life-size Space Monkey action figure, complete with a fully operational laser. I'd love to let him out so you can play with him, but the sorceress seems to think he's a menace. You've always had a weakness for helping silly little creatures, haven't you, Spyro? Oh, well, I suppose there couldn't be any harm in letting him out. Could there?
You just told me he has a fully operational laser. You tell me, boyo.
Say, you ever see a bear dance?
No.
Well, it's your lucky day. Check this out. Dancer, isn't he? Not much stamina, though. Too bad I had a lot more ammo left. Anyway, I heard all about how you've been fighting the sorceress and her armies and kicking all that butt, and I just wanted to say, huzzah! Yippee! Woohoo! Wish I could stay, but my homeworld's been overrun by Rhinox since I've been captured. If you happen to see the sorceress, tell her I'll be giving her dancing lessons real soon. Know what I mean?
You bet.
Later!
I love how all of Spyro's friends are really well-adjusted individuals. I mean, we've got Sheila, who's really violent, Sergeant Bird, who's civilized, but also has 2 rocket launchers attached to his shoulders, Bentley, who is civilized, but also kind of just punches... Oh, there's gems right here, because I never used this bridge. Hadoip. And there's still more somewhere. Well, lead the way, Sparx. And there's Bentley, who's civilized, but then beats everyone over the head with a club. And then there's Agent 9, who... By all rights, he should be so annoying, and yet for some reason he doesn't bother me in the least bit. Okay. Have we found the last of the gems yet? Last of the gem yet? There we go. So, we have 400 out of 400, and 5 out of 5. Level complete. Or is it? I don't know if the Atlas gives this away yet, but yeah, this level goes past 100%. Because I believe this game goes up to 117% in total, so that's something we're aiming for in this Let's Play. Anyway, I would go into Agent 9's lab and get that whole shebang started, but that's going to take too long for the rest of this episode, so let's just head back to Evening Lake and do a Sparx level, just to round things out quite nicely, even though we're near the end of the episode. Now, while I'm on my way back over, you see, because that cost 1,300, we only get to bank the gems we got after the cutscene, because that's just how the game calculates it. How the game calculates it. Now, while I'm heading over to the Sparx area, I just want to show in the corner of the screen, while I was getting the footage for the closed portals in Midnight Mountain, in my low percent file, I found some really remote dialogue with Moneybags here in Evening Lake, and I don't know, it just tickles me because he speaks the way I would.
Good grief, Dragon, what happened to all your money? How am I supposed to swindle, help you if you can't even find any gems?
I don't know how long that cutscene lasts, but clearly I hope I've got the point across by now. Anyway, it's time for a Sparx level.
Princess Amy showed me a place called Starfish Reef. She says there's an egg hidden in there. I think Sparx should check it out.
I think this level might be hard. I know the Sparx levels ramp up in difficulty really quickly, and I've done a spectacular job at not showing that thus far. But hey, we've done a boss and explored a homeworld. I think it's time that we actually did a proper level. Starfish! That's a lot of starfish. I mean, no shit, this is the Starfish homeworld, because they needed one. So, this is fun. I don't remember how this place works. I'm suddenly getting the impression it might just be a load of combat rooms, but I feel like it's not. I feel like it's a proper Sparx level that's maze-like. I don't remember it being very combat-orientated. And there is a butterfly in case we need the ammunition. Oh, that's a friend. Do you shoot fire? Or are you just sort of backing up slowly? To quote Cara Emerald, because this is a necessary time to that. Ah, starfish, they do indeed live in shells. I've seen Spingleblab. You know, Spingleblab squarponts. Apparently, there is, in fact, a breed of it's either coral or sponge that is named after SpongeBob. I forget what it's called. It's like SpongeBobium squarepantsii or something like that. Like, that's a real thing. Well done, scientists. Now, I remember reading an article or something that quite rightly pointed out, it's all well and good, scientists coming up with groovy names for things that reference other things. Like there exists some kind of uptake inhibitor, or like there's some chemical in the human body anyway, that's called like Sonic Hedgehog or something like that, and then there's a thing that inhibits that they called like the Robotnik enzyme or something like that. And yeah, that's like, you know, cool, fun, clever, funny, you know, fandom, sure. But it's all fun and games until you have to explain to someone that they're dying because of a lack of Pikachurin or, you know, whatever it is that's in their body. But I feel as though you can't really call that... Well, it's not really a bluff. You can't really complain about that when it's like a species of sponge. But still, like, that's something that wouldn't cross one's mind necessarily when naming something scientifically. Like, you know, you're quite welcome to make references, but if it's something that could kill someone, maybe don't. But, like, it's one of those things where, like, I think the scientists involved would feel bad because that would be something that hadn't occurred to them when they were naming it. So that's a fun little bit of fact for you today. Is there a spawner up here by any chance? Because there were a lot of starfinkles. Starfinkles. Yes, in fact, there are 2 spawners. Starfinkles, though. I'm starting to wonder what that door to the right of the beginning was now. And honestly, this isn't as hard as I remember it being. So, I'm rather worried now. And then, of course, there's also the 4th Sparx level, which, of course, we can't do until we've fought and defeated, I should say, the final boss. And, of course, in order to access that portal with ridiculous requirements in Midnight Mountain, you need to beat the Sorceress because she has... it seems kind of petty. The Sorceress has exactly 1 egg for, you know, as a prize for defeating her, and yet that's the thing that's stopping us from getting through. Well, I mean, we still have all the worlds of Midnight Mountain first. But come to think of it, because you can quite easily enter Midnight Mountain with over 100 eggs, there is no obligation for us to do any of the worlds of Midnight Mountain, I don't think. Oh, good. Landmines, except... I mean, are we underwater? You know what? Sparx is in a bubble. We're probably underwater. Our enemies are starfish and these weird lamprey-like things. I think we're underwater, Tess, you genius. I don't know how the mines work, because I think this is the only level that has them, and... there's more starfish. And I sort of don't really do Sparx levels that often because I remember them being difficult. They are much worse, as I've said, in Season of Ice, because they make a return to Season of Ice. Season of Ice is just a really badly designed game overall. It's so many flavors of bullshit. Also, the way that the middle of this room kind of looks like some sort of puckered anus. Is that just me? Why do I know what that looks like? I'm rather worried now, he says, a little bit too loudly when both parents are at home that could potentially question my everything. Look at all of these starfish. Oh, I get it. The floor looks like anuses because it's Starfish Reef. Oh. I made myself sad. I feel like I should probably apologize, but I'm not going to because I'm me and you should expect this sort of behavior from me by now. Charge through all of them, take literally all of the damage. Well, I don't know how I was supposed to get through that. Probably with care and precision, but to hell with care and precision when I can spank. Okay, that I object to. I mean, I have no reason to. It's my own stupid fault, but still. And more starfish friends. Well, this level's been pretty sort of generous with the health restoratives so far, so I'm sort of hoping that there's going to be at least 1 before we get to the area boss. There's no. You don't get to. I don't want a hug from your fishy kind. Well, I did leave extra health near the start of the level. I'm going to go back and see if that's still there. Oh, there's 1 here. Well, that's good. Can I go back even further? I cannot. Well, that ended prematurely. Okay, well, we have some health. Let's go and fuck up a starfish. Several starfish. Many starfishes. What is the plural of starfish? Starfi? The legend of Starfy? Stoop. Yes, the plural of starfish is stoop. I don't speak English. I don't know how many times I need to explain this to you, lovely people. I just don't. It's just... I speak many languages, and English is not one of them. Except... Okay, that's a point. I applied for a job recently, and hopefully the fact that I speak English natively, or so it appears, will act in my favor. Because it's a radio station that's in a country that is sort of not really England, so... Anyway, if they see this video and then see that I'm confessing to not speaking English, that might impede my progress, but, like, I clearly can speak English, I'm just hamming it up for comedic effect. Now, where's the starfish in here? Where's the catnip? Meow, I don't know. Because... Oh, it's a... I thought it was a giant starfish. No, it's a manta ray, because of course it is. I forgot about that entirely. Huh. Well, I'm just going to spread gun and do exactly no damage, but a little bit of damage. Because the closer you get with these, with this particular attack, the more damage it does, because of course the boss is absorbing oh yeah, it does a whole Serena Beach shenanigan. I forgot about that part. Yum, this boss is fun. But on the plus side, at least it's not just swimming around almost aimlessly, but not... Oh, it has so many babies. There are so many babies. There are so many babies. There are so many babies, though. There are so many babies. I feel like this is a freak out that Josh Jepson would have. Which is funny, because he doesn't Let's Play much anymore, except he kind of does. And I unsubscribed to him for all of a few moments, and then resubscribed because his coverage of Ocarina of Time Randomizer was good. That wasn't so... Anna Sean! That's an interesting name. Okay. Sure. That just happened. We have 1 of 1 eggs, but do we have all the gems, though? Oh dear. Ah, there's a path down here. This is where the remainder of the gems are. And this wraps back around to the beginning of the level, indeedy diddly dumpy does. Okay, we are done here. So, Zoe, what's my prize for defeating the... That's the Tesperanto word for manta ray, apparently, because they're a sea flap. They go... Obviously. That's the obvious onomatopoeia for flapping graciously through the ocean. Anyway...
When I saw that giant stingray, I thought you were a goner, Sparx. But you sure showed him. Now the magic from the egg has made you even stronger, so you can take one more hit for Spyro.
Oh, thank God. I thought that was the prize for the 4th one, even though I know what the prize for the 4th one is. So yes, we now have no Sparx, green Sparx, blue Sparx, yellow Sparx, and what do you think the final color is? Bearing in mind in Spyro Adventure it was red, but that came between green and none. Nope, we now have yellow with sparkle. Good to know the series is consistent. Anyway, I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and in the next episode we'll head back to Midnight Mountain and have a fantastic time there? Question mark? See you then for that.